don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, but if you had to, though.
We set the scene. We have a choice. We must decide on the correct answers. I'm Kyle.
And I am Nathan.
You are. You are Nathan for the penultimate. Penultimate?
I am the penultimate Nathan.
You are penultimate, Nathan.
I am more than just ultimate.
You're penultimate.
But
You
I
are made
believe-
of molten lava.
Yes, that's what penultimate means. That's
Yes.
fact number one, kids. We're moving in fast and hot with those facts.
Yeah, well, we need to get in as many more facts as we can now because, as I was trying to say, this is the penultimate Nathan because it's the penultimate episode of our podcast.
Penultimate Nathan. It's the second to last Nathan of them all.
Of them all, yes. Because, yeah, obviously, at the end of every episode, we kill you off and clone a new one.
Don't give away the secrets, Kyle. The magic, the podcasting magic that is the killing a clone and cloning him again for some purpose.
Oh, it keeps you fresh. It keeps you fresh and funny, and you can do a podcast much better when you're cloned.
Yes.
But yes,
That's the science. That's fact number 2.
Fact number 2. As I say, we need to get as many facts in as we can before this show ends.
Yes, because this is episode 999, and as all of you that have listened to the last 998 episodes, of which there have definitely been 998 episodes.
There have indeed.
There definitely have been. And if you can't find 998 episodes, it must be you. You're doing something wrong with the internet. Just smack the internet a few times that you should find them.
Yes. Download every single one to your hard drive. It won't block it, I swear.
Download our secret computer virus that'll take over the Pentagon. I mean, every one of our episodes.
Because
this is episode 999 out of 1,000. The long-time listeners will know 1,000 episodes, and we'll finally be free of this curse. This terrible, terrible curse.
And for those of you who have only just tuned in, wow.
Terrible, Kyle.
This is the worst time to tune in. You've only got this episode and then the next one. You might as well just turn off now. But if you are new to the podcast...
No, don't listen to him. Turn it back on. All of you that turned the podcast off, turn it back on right now.
Okay. Have you done it? Good. To explain, yes. Hundreds of years ago, me and Nathan were backpacking through Egypt when we accidentally woke up this ancient witch who cursed us to record 1,000 podcasts, and we're not allowed to finish our lives or finish anything until we've done 1,000 podcasts.
Exactly. And finally, we have nearly reached it.
God, wouldn't it?
99 episodes, Kyle.
It feels like so much less, but yet so much more.
It really does. It feels like so many less. It feels like potentially 900 less than that.
Possibly.
But obviously it's not.
It's obviously not, because we are approaching episode 1,000. But
yes, it's taken us many years to do this. We obviously started this podcast back in 2020, and it is obviously now the year 2035.
Yes.
It's really nice living up here on the moon.
Why? Why would you live on the moon? Because it's 2035.
It's 2035.
2035.
Well, it's actually 1,000.
We're way in the future.
I mean, we've already fucked up my scenario with this intro, Kyle.
You're the one who changed the date for no reason whatsoever. It had nothing to do with our 999 episodes.
That's how we got to 999 episodes. It took us 15 years, Kyle.
15 years? I know. We're just really fast at doing podcasts. We've released like one a day for the past 1,000 days.
As we established a long time ago, and all our long-time listeners would know, me and Kyle actually never stopped recording a podcast. We've just been talking non-stop since we met up in London those few years back. And we just release a podcast whenever we feel we've had enough of a conversation to release. And then we continue to talk.
That's beautiful.
Which begs the question of how we've managed to have so many things happen to us if all we've done for the last couple of years is talk to each other.
I mean, we've just constantly got earpieces in. We go about our day-to-day business.
Of course, we're narrating our lives to each other as we're living our lives.
Yeah.
I have to admit, Carl, I really wish you would stop narrating your lovemaking to me.
And in,
it's
and
hard
out,
to go to
and
sleep
in, and out.
I'm sitting there trying to read a book.
Yeah, you're reading the book to me as I'm going at it. That's what turns me on, Nathan. That honestly, that's like you're reading The Three Little Pigs, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's that bad wolf gonna do now? He's gonna huff and he's gonna puff.
Oh wow.
Anyway, the premise of this show is that we create.
The premise of this show?
I mean, there has been for the last 998 episodes, so there might as well be this time. So, just to remind Nathan and the listeners at home, the premise of this show is that we create scenarios for each other, resulting in 2 possible outcomes. We'll discuss each outcome's pros and cons and decide definitively on the correct answers.
Yes, for 998 episodes, we have delivered you, our audience, the truth. The wisdom that between me and Kyle, our collective wisdom that makes us so wise and wisdonious.
And wisdomous.
We know wisdomous. We are wisdomous. We are wisdonious. We are wisdynamite.
And we're pretty smart too.
Yeah.
And we've given you so many facts. Like every episode, we dish out about 20 different facts, and that is fact 4 for the episode.
That's fact 4 for the episode, but fact 7,692 of overall.
Wow, that's a lot of facts that you've all written down in your fact book.
Yeah, every single one of you should have an individual fact book, or you can order our fact book on our merch store.
Yes, for only $99.95. Bargain.
95.
Yeah. Oh, we should have put it at 999. It should be whatever episode we're on. That's how much.
What was in episode 1? It was £1, Kyle.
Yes, well, if people had got in off the ground, in the first episode, they would have got it for £1. But now
every single one of you that didn't, from episode 1, order our merch. Oh, shame on you! You deserve what you get. You deserve to spend £1,000 on a book.
For shame.
Shame.
Now we've done shaming all of our listener. It is time to get on with the show, Nathan. So this week has been a glorious week for 2 very specific people in your life.
Of course. Well, it's always a glorious week for the people in my life. They're people in my life.
Yes, but you've had a lot of friction with these people over the years. I'm obviously talking about your neighbour, the teenage old man with a glorious moustache, Mr. Winters.
I've moved at least 5 times since we started this podcast, and he's always been my neighbour.
He's just always there.
He's always there. He tells me it's a coincidence, and obviously I believe him.
But it all started when you stole his newspaper one day. He took a picture of you naked and sent it to your mum, and your rivalry has just gone on from there.
Classic neighbour antics.
Yeah. But he did find love during those hard times. He found the monocle-wearing and smoking jacket-wearing anthropomorphic rabbit man, Cornelius Whiskers.
Oh, I remember Cornelius Whiskers. I used him for my war against the orphans.
You did indeed. And they both hated you with a fiery passion and joined each other in their hatred for you. And
at least I've contributed to the pursuit of love.
You have indeed. And Nathan, this week you got an invitation through your front door inviting you to their wedding.
Oh my God!
I know.
I dropped the Cheerios that I'm obviously walking around the house eating.
Just out of the box? Out?
Oh yeah, I pour the milk into the box.
You pour milk into a box,
and then you pour the box into my face.
Oh, okay. You don't even use your hands or anything.
My face.
Wow.
It's a glorious system, Kyle. You should try it.
You drop your box of Cheerios and you see a beautiful embroidered envelope, and it says you were invited to the wedding.
I check the name on the invitation.
Yeah, it is Mr. Winters and Cornelius Whiskers.
But the name that of the person they're inviting, is it
the name of the person they're inviting is Nathan plus guest. I know, amazing. This is
When
great
is it?
news.
When is the wedding?
Well, it's already happened, obviously, because we're retelling this story. But it said on the invitation 2 days from now.
Bloody hell, that's short notice.
It is, but
also the invitation doesn't give a date. It just says 2 days from now.
It just says 2 days from now. So they're hoping
really
that you
presuming that the post service is on the ball, which obviously in the UK always is.
Always is 100% perfect.
Come rain nor sleet nor snow, nothing will stop our loyal postman.
So yeah, you know that you've got this wedding to go to. So obviously you find your +1.
Well, no, the first thing I do, Kyle, is I look down at my bulbous belly and think, oh my God, I have to fit into a wedding suit. And I run to the nearest gym and I run on a treadmill for 6 hours.
Wonderful training montage over. The thing is, like, you thought that you were mortal enemies and everything. You became the Lollipop King. You took over the role that Mr. Winters was supposed to have. He swore...
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought we had reached peace. And then I obviously became the Lollipop King. And obviously my dominion over the world is still growing, Kyle. As we all know, eventually I will control all these streets and I will tell everyone when they can go and when they can stop. But until then, you know I like to have a bit of a break every now and then. It was my day off. That's why I was eating Cheerios out of the box direct into my face.
So, he had sworn his revenge upon you, but somehow you were still invited to the wedding. It said on the back, let's let bygones be bygones, let's bury the hatchet.
A single tear runs down my face, followed by several more tears.
2 days later, you turned up at that wedding.
Whoa, let's not skip ahead.
Oh,
I do the training.
Tell me what else happened, please.
I do my training montage, running on the treadmill. I'm pulling a train along train tracks. I'm juggling because that somehow helps. Well, on a unicycle.
Yeah.
And then I go suit shopping.
Wow.
I find a white suit
to show your innocence, obviously.
White suit, blue shirt, white tie.
Fantastic. Top hat?
Solid gold shoes. Which is actually quite painful, to be honest, Carl. I'm in excruciating pain.
I mean, it must help with your working out, though, because every time you have to lift your foot, you're like lifting...
Yeah, my ankles are huge now, Carl.
Good. I'm glad.
I've still got the belly. I didn't lose the weight, but I've got massive arms and ankles.
And crippled feet. Yeah.
Yes. I do have to crawl everywhere now. My legs are dead. But obviously 2 days from now, where is the wedding happening?
Wedding is happening at the big, glorious church in your hometown.
St. Sebastian's Solitude Sanctuary.
Of course. Where else?
Well, I've got my suit. I've got my solid gold shoes. I've got no use of my legs anymore. It's time to go for a wedding.
Awesome. So, Nathan, you rocked up at the wedding with, obviously, Marjorie Buttersnatch, the most beautiful woman that you'd ever met.
I knew you couldn't stay away for long, Marjorie, especially after I kidnapped your family.
You did indeed.
They'll be returned to you safe once this date is over.
I mean, even I was there at the wedding. I remember I was there.
You're my plus one.
Yeah, no, I know Cornelius Whiskers and Mr. Winters. Remember they tied me to a bomb or something at some point?
No, Mr. Winters was your surgeon and he put a bomb in your stomach.
That's it. That old chestnut. Oh, he's a fun guy. So I was there with my 6 wives. My creepy son, Jeffrey, he was a flower boy.
Ah, beautiful. He's throwing the flowers onto the ground and then they withered and died.
And turned to puddles of blood, which was really weird.
So beautiful, Kyle.
Yeah.
I can't believe this day is finally happening. Can you?
I can't believe it either. I was looking up at the front and I saw both Mr. Winters with his glorious moustache, Cornelius Whiskers in his little tux. They looked beautiful together.
Yes. I wink at every single one of your wives that I've obviously had affairs with.
You have slept with every single wife that I own.
That you own,
because I own them.
That's how wives work.
Yes.
Your father traded a sheep for each woman. A sheep of the same approximate weight. That's how you determine the worth of a woman.
Yes.
The weight in sheep.
Yes. I forget where we were at.
I regret nothing that I've ever said. And let that be a quote on my tombstone.
I bet people are glad that this is the second to last episode.
Just my tombstone. I have no regrets. Fuck you all. But yes, this is a beautiful occasion.
It is a beautiful occasion. Choirs singing. Even the Prime Minister of the country, Dennis, ironically, is standing by, saluting the guys.
It's nice that he took time out of evicting all of doctors and nurses from the country and sending them to gulags.
Yes.
It's nice that he took his time out of that to officiate a wedding.
Yes. And rising up from the front of the room appears the Krampus. The Krampus is wearing a...
No, it's not Christmas. It's not Christmas. I run screaming away from the reception.
Wait, Nathan.
It's not Christmas.
I'm here. I also sideline as a priest on the weekends just to do weddings. I'm not here for you, I swear.
You're not here to horribly mutilate me and traumatize me in ways that I will never, ever, ever, ever recover.
No, not at all.
Oh, well, then it's good to see you, Krampus, my boy. And I stand up and I shake his hand.
Mr. Winters sort of is looking a little irate at this point, turns to you. Nathan, please take your seat. It is time for the wedding to begin.
Of course, I can't tell you, Mr. Winters, how grateful I am that you sent this invitation.
Well, I just thought that I'm getting married now. I can't have any old past rivalries. Put it there, friend. And he holds out his hand to you.
I take his hand and I say, you look beautiful.
Thank you, Nathan. Yes, thank you, my friend. Cornelius Whiskers pipes up.
Oh! I look down in between me and Mr. Winters. Oh, hello there.
Cornelius Whiskers takes out a little timepiece. Now, come on, we're very late.
Of course. I take my seat.
You take your seat and the wedding starts to go off. The Krampus gives an impassioned speech about love and how these two belong together. Soulmates brought together by their hatred of one man.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Yeah, I'm at the back.
I wiped my tears on Marjorie Buttersnatch's scarf.
Yeah,
while whispering in her ear, "It's okay. Your family will be safe soon.
Please, just don't hurt me."
You're safe for the wedding.
Okay.
I say, why did I choose this character?
I don't know.
No one forced me into this.
I mean, it's quite rude of Marjorie to be whimpering while this beautiful wedding is going on.
I do have to remind her, be respectful, this is a wedding. I will kill your entire family if you don't stop.
Yeah, you just got to remind her every now and then.
Exactly. Manners cost nothing, Kyle.
Yeah.
I can see you sitting there with your 6 wives and your creepy psychic son, and you're all sitting in perfect silence.
Yeah, I mean, that is because I've got headphones on and I'm playing my Nintendo Switch, but that's besides the point. I'm distracted is the thing.
And all 6 of your wives are sitting there calmly, staring at you with silent hatred.
Yes.
That's how it's meant to be.
That is how it's meant to be. But your eyes are only on these 2 beautiful fellows getting married. But you suddenly notice one of the pillars at the back of the room, right near where Cornelius Whiskers is cracking. And in an instant, the pillar starts to fall from the sky. And you have a split second, a split choice to make, Nathan. In this moment, you can either push Cornelius Whiskers out of the way, impale yourself on this spike and save Cornelius Whiskers' life, cementing your friendship with Mr. Winters forever. Or you can let Cornelius Whiskers die and save yourself.
Well, this took a turn quickly. Am I the closest one to Cornelius Whiskers?
No, but everyone else is too shocked to do anything.
Oh, I see. And obviously...
I'm too busy playing my Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, you're definitely busy playing your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Jeffrey is busy looking at birds and they explode in the sky.
Yeah.
I'm not the closest, but yet it is my responsibility, my sole responsibility to save Cornelius Whiskers.
Listen, Nathan, you know that you and Mr. Winters have almost put your rivalry behind you. This could cement everything. You could be the saviour, the hero that everyone remembers.
But I could die, Kyle.
You could, and very likely would.
Ooh, but if I don't do it, I know Mr. Winters will blame me.
He will blame you for the death of his betrothed, his beloved.
What's the Krampus doing right now? Isn't he all-powerful?
No, the Krampus is busy reading from his scripture.
Oh, of course, he's busy. The giant demonic being that has the power to do all these horrible tortures to me is powerless because he's reading.
Exactly.
Of course.
It makes perfect sense.
So I am the only one that can do anything.
Yes.
And there's not time for me just to yell, look out.
No. Cornelius Whiskers has seen that it's going to fall, but he's frozen with terror.
Oh, I see. So even Cornelius... Oh, what about Mr. Winters? Isn't he going to push Cornelius Whiskers out of the way?
Mr. Winters is going through his speech. He is declaring his love.
He's looking at a piece of paper. He's incapable of doing anything else.
Exactly. Do you see the predicament you're in now, Nathan? I've explained to you every possible reason why you, and solely you, are the only person in the entire church.
Right, Kyle. You're absolutely right. It's not contrived at all that I am the only person that can do anything about this situation.
Yes.
Despite the fact that we've established I am not the closest.
No.
Not remotely the closest to Mr. Whiskers. But it is my responsibility. I see it. The world slows down when I see the pillar falling towards Cornelius. I think back to when I first met Cornelius, all those years and years ago, when I fell down that little hole and I harnessed him to wage war on orphans. I never thought I'd one day be at his wedding, mainly because I thought he was just a rabbit and I didn't realise he was a person. In fact, I don't actually know if this marriage is legally binding because he's a rabbit. All these thoughts come to me as the time slows down and all these rocks are falling. If I don't do this, me and Mr. Winters have finally reached peace.
Yeah, this would tear that apart.
Things that Mr. Winters has done to me over the years. Sending that naked picture of myself to my mum.
Yeah.
Putting a bomb inside your stomach just to get to me. Trapping me on the island of social media zombies.
Yes.
And other things I'm sure that he's done.
Oh, many. Too many to count.
There was that time that he ate the last cake before I had it. The last Mr. Kipling's lemon slice. It still hurts, Kyle. Finally, that period of my life would be over. I would no longer have to live my life watching out for Mr. Winters' latest revenge scheme. But if I did it, I could die.
There is that.
There is that.
But Nathan, think about this. If you died saving someone's life, you are guaranteed all of the negative things you've done in your life. The orphan murder, the puppy murder, the murder. All of that.
Murder, oh yeah.
Yeah, all of that will be wiped clean because you did a selfless thing. You saved the life.
We all know that's how karma works. The last thing you did is what determines if you're good or bad.
Yes, and Nathan, you would go to the good place.
I would go to the land where comic books are free.
Yes, and gumdrops grow on trees.
Where sky rains cider. And other good things.
Yes, Nathan, you will go somewhere over the rainbow.
I'll have 20 nipples.
If that's what you want, then that is what you shall get.
Oh
you will get your just rewards.
Damn it.
Don't save his life, and you are most definitely going to go to hell, where Mr. Chiddlefright will torture you for eternity.
Oh, God, Mr. Chiddlefright. I leap out of my altar, running down the pew, screaming, "No!" And I push Cornelius Whiskers out of the way.
And as you do, Nathan, Mr. Winters looks up from his speech, sees that you're about to get impaled, and he dives at you, knocking you out of the way. And instead, Mr. Winters is impaled. As he's lying there on the ground, dying, he looks up at you. Nathan,
don't try and speak, Mr. Winters.
You saved my beloved Cornelius. Thank you so.
Wait, before you go.
Oh, yes, I've got a little left in me before I die. Oh, I'm back for a little bit. Yes, what was it, Nathan?
Your wedding present. And I pull out of my back pocket the newspaper that I stole from him all those years ago.
It really has come full circle. I think, my friend, that was a real death. Cornelius Whiskers drops to his knees. Strokes Mr. Winter's hair, then looks up at you. Nathan, you saved my life.
Yes, I'm as surprised as you are.
You truly are meant for heaven, my friend. And the camera pulls out of the church into the sky, and we see a smiling Mr. Winters, like a ghostly image of him walking into the clouds.
The ghost of Mr. Winters.
Yes, he's walking into the clouds, and he turns one last time. He's holding the newspaper, and he waves at the audience before vanishing into the day.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what happened to you this week, Nathan.
Yeah, it was an eventful wedding.
Yeah.
The reception was cracking though. They had these tiny little, like, it was.
I mean, they did have those little lemon slices, the ones that Mr. Winters took the last of yours that one time. He got them in specifically.
Pate,
yes.
And, like, tiny little mushrooms.
Mini quiches.
Oh, little baby.
Vol au vents.
Oh, whatever those are.
And Nathan, pineapple and cheese on a stick. Nothing is more fancy than pineapple and cheese on a stick, unless, and it was, pinned into a watermelon.
Oh dear.
To look like a hedgehog. Yes, I know. The best wedding you've ever been to, apart from Mr. Winter's dying, of course.
Yes, yeah, of course.
But you'd buried the hatchet, you have gained all of your goodness points. You are on an up, and it's a good place to end. I mean, unless something terrible happens in the next podcast, it's a good place to end our...
But what's the chances of that?
Oh, I mean, practically zero. Practically.
I have cleared the slate.
Yes.
I have now redeemed myself for all the bad things that I've ever done, because obviously, as we all know, doing one good thing makes up for thousands of bad things.
Yes, definitely all the puppy slaughter.
Oh, definitely. But I have now cleared the slate. I am redeemed. And I think it's fair to say nothing could possibly happen to change that. Well, that was my week, and it was eventful.
Well, I guess you could say so.
Hmm.
Mine, however, I don't think it was that eventful, but...
No, actually, your week was quite average, actually. It was just the same as it's always been. You had yet another long week working in the hot dog factory.
Yes, after the Cashewnade Empire disbanded, I had to get a job at the hot dog factory.
Absolutely. And whereas we all know how the hot dog is made. You have to put puppies into a furnace and melt them into sausages.
I do indeed. I've sort of taken tips from you. Like, I had to phone you up and ask you, what's the best way to incinerate a dog?
Oh, yes. I mean, I could tell you the exact boiling temperature.
Yeah.
It's grueling work, as anyone who's ever had to kill thousands of puppies a day would ever tell you. Grueling work, day after day, dumping a box of puppies onto the conveyor belt, watching their sad little eyes as they go into the bone grinder 9000. And obviously you've been doing this for so long now. I mean, you couldn't count the number of puppies that you've seen crushed, mauled.
7,126.
I see. But last week, the 7,126th puppy was apparently the final straw. You had just had enough.
I had.
You saw the latest batch. You saw a thin, lanky sausage dog marching down towards the grinder and the smelter, and you decided, no, enough is enough.
I saw myself in that dog that day.
You did indeed.
Some might say I had taken too many magic mushrooms and I was hallucinating, but I swear he had my face.
He had your face, you had his face. Who's to say Whose
Where
face
one
is whose?
face ends and one begins. I know.
Exactly. I mean, philosophers have been asking that question since the dawn of time, I'm sure. I've not looked it up, but I'm sure that since I just said was right.
Fact 5 for the episode, then.
Exactly.
Bank it.
Bank that fact.
Bank that fact. Oh, we should have been saying that every time we do a fact. Bank that
What
fact.
thing to figure out on the 999th episode is the catchphrase that we should have been using this whole time.
Damn it, we've been waiting 999 episodes to get our catchphrase, and there it is.
We should have been saying bank that fact, and we should have had a sound effect.
Oh, yeah, like a dollar sign. Ka-ching!
Oh, yeah, or ka-ching.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, yes, you pressed the emergency stop button. You took out the crowbar and you released the cages. All the canines were running to freedom.
Run free, my pretties! Run free!
Yes, but that's when security showed up. Bruno and Boris.
Johnson?
Yes, he's fallen on hard times. and also his older, dumber
brother. Bruno Johnson and Boris Johnson.
Oh, yeah, Kyle. Yes, so he's Carl. You shouldn't have done that.
I'm sorry, Boris Johnson, my boss and security guard.
No, I'm Bruno. I'm
sorry. It's very hard. You look very similar. Yeah.
If you think back to the days of ancient Greece and the Appalachian texts, well, then obviously the price of fish has gone up. And, this conversation goes on for 60 more minutes and absolutely nothing of any substance is said. But after that, Bruno holds up a hand and goes, Boris, I don't think we've gotten off track a little bit. Kyle, you shouldn't have done that.
I just couldn't take it anymore. Those dogs deserve life.
I understand. Unfortunately, it is company policy that we brutally kill anyone that releases the dogs immediately. And he takes out the hatchet.
Let's not be hasty here, chaps. I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement.
Boris Johnson goes on for another 65 minutes about how the pillows in Europe have been dominated by the Western the Western companies and their brutal stranglehold for too long, and how that obviously relates to the ancient Roman texts.
Of course. I sort of like glaze over as he's talking and then snap back to it when he finishes.
Yeah, you snap back to it as you notice that Bruno has been starting to cut off one of your ears. What did I do? How did I escape these monsters? Well, obviously, Kyle.
Yeah.
And I am surprised that you didn't think of it until now. You run, you idiot.
Of course.
But you don't.
My legs, I always forget I've got legs.
You forgot you had legs, but then thankfully on the radio that they obviously play throughout the factory to keep morale up, the Benny Hill music starts playing, and you remember, I have legs.
Yes, perfect.
So they chase you up and down the factory.
Oh, is it like a Scooby-Doo scene? I go in one door, they go exactly. In another door. I pop my head out of like a basket. Yeah, awesome.
Exactly. They chased you up and down the factory.
Yeah.
Until you reached the platforms above the smelters, the boiling vats of molten lava that are obviously used in sausage making.
I would know them well.
That's just another fact for our listeners.
Fact number 12 already. Wow.
Fact number 12.
Put it in the back. I don't even remember our catchphrase. That's terrible.
Bank that fact.
Bank that fact.
It's time to bank that fact. Dun 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 dun. I can't believe you forgot that already, Carl.
Bank that fact. My memory's so
bad.
It's
time to fact that fact.
It's time to go down to the bank and put the fact in the account.
It's time to insert the fact up the bank. Wait. It's time to fact that bank.
Nathan, stop talking nonsense. I'm in front of a vat of boiling dog carcasses.
Oh yeah.
What do I do?
Bruno has been chopping pieces off you little by little every time he's caught up to you.
I know.
And Boris has been talking about the regulations on selling fish to Brazil.
Oh, the more he goes on, the more I just want to jump into this vat.
And you reach the platforms above the smelters and the boiling vats of molten lava. And then as they're coming towards you and you look over the guardrail trying to figure out a way to escape, tragedy strikes. The guardrail breaks. You fall, Kyle, towards the searing, boiling lava. And do you know what happened next?
I can't quite remember. Please refresh my memory.
No, you're not quite sure, are you? It is a bit vague, but
yeah.
Well, we're not sure how you're still here, Kyle. But I want you to think back.
Okay.
Think back, Kyle, and remember. You are in a bright place, a room of pure light.
I'm in the good place.
You have.
I've gone over the rainbow.
Nipples.
I have 21 nipples.
Damn it, you got more than I would. And then you saw him, a figure, a tall, towering figure in a dark robe, a large scythe in one hand. This figure walked up to you, and in his deep, chilling voice, he said, "Kyle Bennett, you have crossed." Sorry about that. You have crossed over to the lands of the dead. I am here to take you to your next destination. I could not keep up that voice for that long.
I see, sir. You've come to take me to heaven.
He puts his bony hand on your shoulder. I didn't say that.
What?
I said your next destination. I don't know where you're going to go. It's not up to me.
Oh. Well, who is it up to then?
You'll find out. I can take you to your next place, Kyle.
Okay, do it.
Do you want to go to the next place?
Of course I do. I don't want to stay here with you. I mean, I could hang out for a little bit if you wanted.
Oh, no, you can't stay here.
Oh, yeah, good. Cause
you must go forward, or you could go back.
Back?
If you truly wish to live, I could give you a second chance. But you must make a choice. To live again will come with a great cost.
I see.
You could either return to live no longer needing to work. You could retire comfortably today, but all the time that you would have spent working in your life, that time would be deducted from your lifetime. Or you can return to live for 1,000 years, but you will never be allowed to retire.
I would be working at the hot dog factory my entire life.
Yes.
For 1,000 years.
I could send you back now. You can quit today, but however much time that you would have spent at work over your lifetime, I would take that away. Let's say you have 40 years left of life. At least 20 of those years would be spent working.
Yeah, so we spend half our lives working.
Oh, I'm sure.
Don't you find that rather tragic, Death?
I do not care.
I'm sure you don't. But like, if you were,
you're complaining about your job. I've been doing this job for 20 billion thousand years.
Wow. Who was the first person that you took across?
Oh, Grog.
Grog. Wow. Was that a dinosaur?
No, it was a caveman.
Dinosaurs aren't real, right?
Yes, of course. That's fact number 13 of the episode.
They were made up by scientists to
as we all know.
God.
Yes, exactly. They cloned dinosaurs and then they killed them to get the bones. That's where all the dinosaur bones come from.
Yes, I see.
As we all know, if you've read the Bible, which is obviously 100% accurate, the first living creatures on the planet were man.
Yes. Not caveman either.
Oh, no, they were caveman.
Fully formed man.
No, they were caveman.
So Adam and Eve were cavemen?
Yeah.
Okay. But he called himself Grog back then, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I suppose Adam would be the first person to die, wouldn't he? Shut up, I'm deaf. Don't you dare argue with me.
Listen, Death, I've got a tough decision to make. I'm just making jokes here. Now, let me think about this very seriously. It's not a laughing matter at all. So,
Knock.
Who's there?
Death.
Death who?
Death you.
Okay, your humour needs a little work, Death. Maybe read a few joke books or something.
How dare you?
Will you leave me alone and let me come to this decision, please? The more you talk to me, the longer I'm going to stay here.
I'm only giving you a second chance at life here. Forgive me if I wanted to have a bit of conversation. No one ever wants to hang out with death. They all want to go on to heaven, or they want to go back to life. I haven't had a conversation in 20 million years.
I'm so sorry, Death.
I haven't had a toilet break in 15 billion years.
Oh, well, you know what? You go for a toilet break now. I'll let you, and I'll come to my decision by the time you get back. How's about that?
All right, fine. Don't try and skip ahead to one of the other places, because without me, your soul will be torn to shreds.
Oh, also, Death. You'll know this. How's Mr. Winters doing? He died last week. Where did he end up?
Well, I really shouldn't tell you this. It's against the rules.
Oh, I see.
But how could anyone with such a beautiful moustache go anywhere but heaven?
That's all I needed to know. Thanks, Death.
Such a beautiful moustache. So much better than your scraggly beard.
Mine's painted on, Death.
Oh,
it's not real.
It's absolutely pathetic.
I can't grow facial hair. I can barely grow eyebrows.
You should learn a thing or two from Mr. Winters. I mean, if he were still alive, to teach you how to grow a moustache, which is obviously something that you can be taught to do.
Anyway, so I have a choice to make. I've got to either.
I'm going to go take a whiz.
Yes, you go off, Death.
I think there's a toilet around here in the Alpha Centauri system.
Okay. Wait,
that's a storage cupboard.
I'll live 1,000 years. Or
that's all the souls of the damned. No, wait, hold on.
Or I will live like how many years? 20 years? Oh God,
that's all the murdered puppies. There's so many murdered puppies in this room.
Yeah, 20 years. Or 1,000, but 1,000 that I'd be working.
Well, let's go through this, Kyle.
Okay.
That number, the 20 years number, was just a random number given to you. It depends on when you're destined to die.
Yes. Who knows? Because I get into a lot of scrapes.
Exactly. When is your destined death date? And if we deduct however much time you'll be working from that time, potentially you may not have that much time left.
Yeah.
You could make this deal. They deduct all the years that you'll spend of your life working, and you will already be dead because you were destined to die 10 years from now.
Yeah. If I lived 1,000 years, but I was working that entire time, am I living? Am I enjoying that life?
I mean, obviously, you still, it's still just the 8-hour days. It's not.
Yeah, I still get the evenings.
24/7 work.
Yeah.
But you would never be allowed to retire.
No, I like the thought of living 1,000 years, because if I made my aim in life, my job, my work, to be fighting against the evil people who slaughter puppies and turn them into hot dogs, if that is my life's work, then I'm doing a service. If you enjoy your work, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, that's what people say, isn't it? It's certainly a thing that people say.
That is certainly a thing people say. So I've just got to find a job that I really love. Something that I am passionate about going to and doing every day. Whether I'll find that and get that ever, I've got 1,000 years to try.
You're never allowed to retire. So you're never allowed to quit. You can't quit your job and search for another job.
I have to secure another job and then transition.
You can leave. Yeah. Exactly. You're never allowed a period of time.
No, I can't even have a day off.
Exactly. No, you've by agreeing to this, you relinquish all days off that you would ever be owed.
I still think, Nathan, that living for 1,000 years trumps the short amount of time I would get. And you get bored. You don't have a job. You don't have a purpose in life. You're just sitting around watching TV. Yes, it's fun for a few weeks, but you would get bored eventually.
Well, a few weeks is all you've got, Carl.
That it could be all I've got. No, and that is why I decided, and that is why I had to dedicate my life to making podcasts. And every day since, I have made a podcast with you, and that's how we've managed to get to 999 episodes. Full circle. Everything makes sense.
Speaking of circles, is that a toilet I'm here flushing?
Aha! I think Death may be returning.
You hear Death zip up his robe, and he walks back over.
He's got a zip on his long black robe. Wow.
God, I've been needing that.
You're welcome.
So, have you made your choice?
I have indeed. I have chosen to work for the next 1,000 years, every single day.
Well, he holds out his bony hand. I see you've made your choice.
I shake his hand and nod. I have.
He leans in close, whispers in your ear, I didn't wash my hands. And he pushes you backwards through a portal.
Amazing.
And
Filthy
you
bastard.
wake up
Yes.
in the hot dog factory, lying on the floor next to the big smelter. Somehow, you didn't fall into the vat of lava at all. You fell alongside it, and you sustained no injuries. It's a miracle.
Amazing.
Boris and Bruno run on over to you. Well, I see you fell. I mean, that clearly this is the fault of the European Union and the regulations. You fell.
Fuck you guys. I'm going to go get another job. Damn it. Well, I could get fired, though.
They run on over. Well, we were going to fire you, but for some reason we've decided not to.
You just feel compelled. I can never be fired.
They pick you on up. All right, we've captured all the dogs. You're going to have to put them back through the grinder.
I suppose, but one day I will rise up against you and I will save these poor defenseless puppies who look just like me.
Bruno and Boris walk away from you laughing. Well, Boris laughs. Bruno looks back at you right at the end, and you see sympathy in his face, almost like he wishes for you to succeed. And then Boris grabs him and goes, come on, Bruno. We've got more puppies to capture. Yes, Boris.
Fantastic.
And they pick up their giant nets and they get on their bicycle.
Yeah, their tandem bicycle. Well, there you go. This has been an educational storytelling bonanza.
I certainly didn't know that.
We've learned how hot dogs are made. We've learned
hot dogs are made by the ex-prime minister and his giant, dumb-witted, hulking brother, going around town on a bike made for two, catching dogs in nets. And then they take the dogs to a factory
and
where
melt
Kyle
them down.
Bennett
Yeah.
feeds them into a conveyor belt and has them melted down into sausages.
I do indeed. We found out the truths about life and death and how the afterlife works in all of its multiple ways. How you can get into heaven, how you get into hell.
I found out that I'm definitely going to heaven.
That's amazing.
You found out that there's a way out of the afterlife.
Yeah, so we've both really we've really messed with time and space itself.
We've messed with time and space and the very order of reality itself.
Wow. And with one more episode to go, what are we going to discover next week?
I don't know, but you have at least 1,000 years to figure that out.
I do.
I, of course, will finally be allowed to die after we finish our 1,000th podcast. Unless somehow something happens.
I'm sure nothing will. This has been If You Had To, though. If you like the episode, you can follow and subscribe to the podcast on Patreon, but to be honest, we're doing one more episode, so it's probably pointless now. You can follow me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle _
What if we get all the listeners? This is finally the episode after 998 that we finally make money.
Follow me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle _ M_ Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's.
And you can follow me at N Wozniak Art. That's N for Nathan, WOZNIAKART. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Nathan Wozniak. Nathan is spelt the same way, and Wozniak was spelt the same way that I just spelt it a second ago. So just rewind the podcast 10 seconds, or look up that computer guy who has the same name as me, who unfortunately is not a blood relative and refused to give me his money. The bastard. I have been a hot dog making 1,000-year living workaholic. And I was invited to a wedding.
Mr. Winters is dead, Nathan.
Mr. Winters is dead, but he died, my friend.
He died doing what he loved, getting married. Dying. He loved dying.
I'll see you next time for episode 1000, Carl.
See you there. I'll see you square.
It's time. Jesus. Stop Stop trying to give us catchphrases. It's the 999th episode. We haven't had catchphrases up till now. We cannot introduce them now, Kyle.
Take that to the bank.
What?
Brother.